All right, so we are starting off with the equation of a circle. This is not in your books, so you will not be able to follow along in those, nor take notes out of it. So take really, really good notes here. It's pretty quick. It'll be pretty easy to go through. So let's start off with our objectives. By the end of this, you will be able to understand the equation of a circle, to be able to write an equation given information about a circle, to use the equation of a circle to determine the position of points, and to use the equation of a circle to find the area of that circle. All right, so let's just get right into the equation of a circle. It can be written in the following form. X minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. Now, I'm sure you can figure out what r squared is. H and k, those are the center coordinates. Notice that even though it's minus h minus k, here it's positive. So like, let's say this was x minus 5, y minus 6. The center would be at positive 5, positive 6. So please, please remember to make that differentiation, because that will be the one thing that'll trip you up if anything does. Okay, and then of course r is the radius. So notice in the equation, it's r squared. Okay, so just r is the radius, not r squared. All right, so let's get some practice with it, because really all there is to learn is that equation. So write the equation of a circle whose center is at 0, 0, and a point on the circle is at negative 7, 0. So we start off with what we have here, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Now we have a center. It's 0, 0. So h would be 0, k would be 0. And we have a point on the circle at negative 7, 0. So that means, okay, so that point is on the circle. It's on that perimeter. So if our center is at 0, 0, and this point on the perimeter is at negative 7, 0, that means the distance from the center to that point is 7. Easy enough to figure out. So we can write it as x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 7 squared, because that's the distance from 7 to this point, or from 0, 0 to this point, negative 7, 0. So we simplify that as just x squared plus y squared equals 49, and you have your equation of the circle. So when your center is at the point of origin, it's just a matter of doing x squared plus y squared and then squaring the radius. Easy. Okay, let's try one that's a little bit harder. Write an equation of a circle whose center is at 2, negative 1 and has a diameter of 12. A couple things here. We are again going to start with this equation. But now, instead of having 0 for h and k, we have a center that's at 2, negative 1. So we plug in 2 for h and negative 1 for k. And I put 6 in for the radius. Why? Because the diameter is 12, which means that the radius is 6. Because remember, the diameter is 2 times the radius, so it's 6 squared. So we're going to simplify that a little bit to get x minus 2 squared. And since it was minus a negative 1, that means that's going to become a positive 1 squared equals 36, which is 6 squared. So our equation is x minus 2 quantity squared plus y plus 1 quantity squared equals 36. See? Not that difficult. All right, now we are going to use the equation of a circle to determine the position of points. Okay, so now we're asking the question, is the point P, which is at 3, 4, inside, outside, or on the circle with the equation? Now we've got x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 9. So let's get a little bit of information from that first. First things first, the center of the circle is at negative 2, positive 3. Because since this is x plus 2, that means, remember, the equation is x minus h. So for that to be plus, that means we're just basically taking the opposite of it. Okay, same with this. If you want to think of it like that, we have a minus 3, which means that that's actually a positive 3. So the center of our circle is at negative 2, positive 3. What do you think the radius is? Well, it's the square root of 9, because remember, in the equation, it's radius squared. So we have to take the square root of that number. So the square root of 9 is 3. So now we've got the center of the circle, and we have the radius. Now we have to find out if that point is inside, outside, or on the circle. Well, how do we do that? Well, we now know the center of the circle, and we can use the distance formula. If you remember, it's excuse me, x sub 1 minus x sub 2 squared plus y sub 1 minus y sub 2 squared. Okay, so we take, and it doesn't matter what order you do it in, as long as you use, if you use this x and then this one, we have to use that y then first, minus that one. So I chose that. I went 3 minus negative 2 squared plus 4 minus 3 quantity squared. And that's the distance from C to P, which 3 minus negative 2 is actually 3 plus 2, which is 5 squared. 4 minus 3 is 1 squared. And we add those together because 5 squared is 25, 1 squared is 1. So that's a square root of 26, which is about 5.1. Now we know our radius is 3, and if this point is 5.1 from the center, that means that since it's greater than our radius of 3, our point lies outside the circle. If it was the same as the radius, then it would lie on the circle. If it was less than the radius, it would lie inside the circle. So again, something that's not written down on the screen, but I hope you're taking notes on because it's important. All right, and finally, we need to find the area of a circle from the equation. We've got x minus 8 quantity squared plus y minus 11 quantity squared equals 169. We need to find the area of the circle, and we want our answer in terms of pi. So let's start with the area of a circle, the formula for it. Area of a circle equals pi r squared. This is going to be really, really easy. The radius is the square root of 169, which is 13. And so our area equals pi times 13 squared, or just 169 pi. Now, look at this and look at this. Okay, assuming they give you the radius squared, they give it to you in the equation, you just take that, add a pi, and you're done. Simple as that. Okay, that's about it. Really short lesson. Good way to end the unit. We've got a little bit of time to prepare for the test. So if that last quiz threw you off, you've got a few days to ask some questions and to get ready for the test that's coming up. All right, have a good weekend, guys. Enjoy it, and we will see you in class when I see you.